accused us of being Mossad. And the reason why America would farm out most of the operations of September 11th is to maintain security, just as most of the operations of COVID-19 were farmed out. That's not an anti-Chinese statement any more than it is an anti-Semitic statement to say most of September 11th, 2001 was farmed out. It's just the way it is. That's how you maintain security. So the next round I have already detailed, okay? It's going to be blamed on backwards right-wingers who cling to their guns, and because you always have to have a scapegoat. And what is coming next is, oh boy, you ever get to certain layers of the truth where you just can't believe what you're reading, even though you can verify it right in front of your face? A very unique patent number right here. Again, this is critical. I couldn't believe this. And even today, another piece of the puzzle was revealed. So here we go. Just going to pause that. Can you read this? WO 2020. WO 2020 060606. This is from the World International Patent Organization. In other words, you could call this patent World Order 2020 666. The title of this document is called Cryptocurrency System Using Body Activity. Let's see. Filing date was, get a load of this, the 20th of the 6th month of 2019. And let's see, this patent was granted this year. Okay, priority data. The applicant is Microsoft Technology Licensing LLC. Would that be the same company that Mr. Microsoft heads up? Yeah, that would be, right? Okay. So I'm not going to read the whole abstract. I'm just going to read the last sentence. And then I'm going to ask you to tell me in plain English what I just read, just to make sure you're understanding this. So here we go. The cryptocurrency system communicatively coupled to the device of the user may verify if the body activity data satisfies one or more conditions set by the cryptocurrency system and award cryptocurrency to the user whose body activity data is verified. So BDK, tell me in plain English what I just told you.
Like basically, us good citizens are going to have to act in almost lockstep with the dictates of this safe world new society. Our bodies must not have viruses. We must not be out there trying to buy up all the guns, do all this crazy stuff, because they can shut this down. Like once they put this in, they can take that away because we need to be verified. It's no longer that we're citizens. We need to be verified. We need to show our bona fides that we're citizens. And that's a scary thing, bro.
Everything that you said is true, but it's even worse. Okay, we need to go over this again because you must understand what we're looking at right now. Okay, so it says, the last clause of the last sentence says, award cryptocurrency to the user whose body activity data is verified. What does that mean? That means that a task can be given to me electronically, and I have to use my body to fulfill that task in order to earn their cryptocurrency. That's what that sentence means. That is straight out of Revelation 18, where the Babylonian economic system is described in great detail, and everything is traded, And the end of the list, you have, and the bodies and souls of men are also traded. This is a system of slavery. You're going to have to get on the treadmill and do whatever they tell you in order to mine cryptocurrency with your body. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
But it gets even worse, if you can believe that. So let me just get out of this. Okay. This is another patent, patented by AT&T. It says right here, assigned to AT&T Intellectual Property, ILP. Routing policies for biological hosts. Are you getting this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Routing policies for biological hosts. As one, this is straight from the abstract. These aren't my words, okay? I highlighted this from the abstract. As one person's intra-host networks are addressable, different people and animals, one more time, okay? Different people and animals may conduct inter-host communications. In more simple terms, one person's brain may control another person's body. How do you like that? So I just gave you 3 massive pieces of this puzzle. Oh,
Can I ask you a question about this, man?
sure.
Because some people at this point, when they hear things like this, they say, well, dude, this is a virus no worse than the common cold. Like, the stuff that you're talking about is so science fiction that kind of a response is way beyond what we're facing right now. But like, I like how you're tying in the fact that this is round 1 and that there's a second round coming of something that will make that like a one-on-one, like a drastic situation to a drastic solution. I think it was you that I heard once say that if we wanted to view this in a military term, what we're going through right now is just a military exercise to prepare us for round 2. Would that be correct?
That is absolutely correct. Imagine if these plans came out now with just 1 round. The amount of resistance that would be met would be quite severe. So the fact is, there's going to be more rounds of this. How many rounds? I don't know. I can't tell you. How far apart will they be spaced? I don't know. I can't tell you. But do they have plans for future rounds? Yeah, absolutely. I just read from their own documents. Okay, Microsoft, AT&T. You can say what you want, but when I'm quoting their documents, you can see what's going on. Okay, you will become jacked into the matrix. Satan's ultimate dream is to create his own world apart from God. And once you're jacked into the matrix, the Bible says that men will seek death and not find it. For 30 years, I couldn't figure out the meaning of that verse. I now have that meaning. They're preconditioning you through films like the Matrix. That's what that's about. They're making a new Matrix film. And the Wachowski brothers, get a load of this, okay? They're both transgendered now. They're both transgendered meth users. You should see their teeth. They're completely rotten. And they've gone from being the Wachowski brothers to the Wachowski sisters. This is what you can expect someone who is inspired from Satan himself to act like, where everything is trans. Not just transgender, but now transhuman, because that's the final frontier. If you don't like somebody that you care about being augmented, then you're a transhumanophobe, or whatever the label they want to call you. Okay, so we've gone from adultery to divorce to homosexuality to transgenderism, and the final nail in the coffin is going to be transhumanism. How can you resist that? Now, as a Christian, if somebody invents a mind control ability for a prosthetic limb, oh man, I'm all in favor of that. That is awesome. You know, what if an amputee could have a usable arm and hand just by controlling it through his or her brain? I'm all in favor of that. I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about being, as Romans 18 says, okay, part of a Babylonian economic system where everything is traded, including the bodies and souls of men. I'm talking about a system of virtual reality that has nothing to do with God, a universe, if you will, totally apart from God. And once you're in that universe, men will seek death and not find it. I mean, films like Ready Player One are just another example of a psychological conditioning where you're living in a rusted out trailer park, and the only way you can escape is by jacking yourself into the matrix. And this whole COVID-19 situation, it's now obvious that it's 95+% fake. Yes, the virus exists, but thank God, literally, that it's not nearly as dangerous or has a high mortality rate as we were initially led to believe. But the problem is that now, see, here's the problem I face. I can't mention what I just told you in my church. And that is because most churches will have people who have pre-existing medical conditions or are highly susceptible to viruses, bacteria, etc. I mean, people like organ recipients who are on anti-rejection medication, people who have, say, cystic fibrosis, or one of other 100 conditions, okay? So now if somebody like me says, you know what? There's like a 0.03% chance that I will end up in the hospital because of COVID-19. That is, statistically speaking, less lethal than the common flu every single year. We've never shut down the world economy because of the common flu, okay? Let me ask you this, BDK. What do you think would be the reaction from some members of your church if you just said what I said?
Oh man, we'd freak out because not only would you be offending people, but you would tick off the people that are giving money to the preacher too, son. They would not have that. They would not have that at all, sir. Which
Right.
is why I'm glad that God has allowed for a season. Now, I'm not saying it's good that churches got shut down, but for a season, He's closed down doors so that ministries that are online that have a little more sway, what you can say now and here, what you couldn't say in your church, because in a way, live streaming services and stuff have become a church, and God is giving you now an opportunity to go on platforms like this and say the things that the churches would want to censor.
Right.
And if that kind of stuff keeps happening, then I'm all good with God doing church in a little bit of a different way. I hope we keep that part of it when things are, if they ever are able to go back to normal, at least.
Right. So given all the documented facts I've laid out so far tonight, if I were to bring these up rapid fire, and I don't think I could do it in under 30 minutes. I really don't think I could. By the end of the second minute, people would tune out and they would ask me to leave. I mean, I already know what would happen. Okay. So it's like I have to live a lie because I've